Hello,
Hello.
I'm very glad to meet you. So, I hope you already know what are we going to ask, right? So,
Yeah.
first of all, I would like to introduce you to my people. Here is Teacher Kendana. She is one of the teacher from Study with the Thaw, and she is also second year student in Permi University. So why I made this video is I'm going to interview Teacher Kendana because she got high performance in her academic, as like she got two-time dean list, right? So I really appreciate to have you and to work with you. So I would like to interview you. How do you balance your study work life, and how do you try hard? So I propose some question for you. So first of all, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So my name is Kian Najo, and then I'm the second year student studying PPE at Burma University. And then at the same time, I'm working as a teacher with Thaw. Nice to meet you all.
Yes, nice to meet you, everyone. So I'm very happy to have that kind of high performance teacher as well. So in our like online school teacher, I can give you a lot of students, and I can rely on you a lot because like you can teach very well in your classroom, and students love you very well. So I'm really happy to hear that. So I have like 6 questions actually. So my first question is about your job experience. What are you currently doing? And like, what are your volunteer experience? So yeah.
Okay. Here, let me talk about like what I did in the past and then right now. So before I joined the Permi, so I has been like doing English teacher maybe about over 2 years, and then when I joined Permi, and then I started to work with you, and then it's been I think almost one year, right? Almost 1 year, and then
Yes.
during these years I think I got a lot of experience, a lot of lovely students, and then a lot of the new network, a lot of the positive motivation and the positive energy from my college and from my children and students. And then currently I working as an English teacher with you, and then another English institution, so Emily with Dairy. So I'm also working there as a young and a deaf English teacher. And then for my volunteer work, so I'm serving as a Permi All Inclusion Fellow right now. And then I'm also doing as a volunteer project assistant in Taipahan Institute right now. Yeah.
Oh, you're working a lot. Okay, and also I really want to do like how is your work schedule? So at the same time you have to attend full-time university, right? So and also you have a part-time jobs. So how's your work schedule? How do you manage your time? Yes.
Yeah. So as a student, I'm also have to give a lot like my time on my study. So it's a full time, right? And then for me also like a lot of the low workload. And then so so I always make the schedule. So for my like school time and then to study. And then out of the like my school time, so I try to work as a part-time teacher, right? So I usually choose my free time, so maybe early in the morning, and then at the evening and at night. And then so our school, we don't need to drive like maybe the whole day, like from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., right? We don't need to drive. So based on the course we choose, we can adjust our working hours, study times, right? And the volunteer jobs we can adjust. So before I take the courses, so I always check my timetable because some courses I really want, so I have like another job, right? So I have to adjust the times, like the time and the courses I would like to take. And then another things I working with you is like, so the strength, I think it's the strength, right? So the working hour is really quite flexible, and then we can adjust our working hours with the students, and then with you also, right? So if we have the meeting, so we can cancel, and then we can do some makeup class. So yeah, so based on this, I always choose my courses, and then before I join the courses, I always think about my timetable. So what course I'm interested in, and then to study these courses, I have to make I have to adjust my working hours and the study time. Yeah, so I always adjust like that.
Okay, that's great. That's great because you have got a flexible job hour, so you can adjust it and you
Yes,
can choose your courses. That's great.
yes.
And also, like, how many courses are you taking last 2 semester? Yeah. Did you
Okay.
take? Yeah.
Yeah. So for next semester, so in my first semester, so I didn't walk there because it is my very first semester, and that I take all of my time on my study. So at this time, what I realized was that so it is not enough only studying the school lesson. So out of the school lesson, we have to take the exposure in our work, and then in our like society, and in a workplace. So like starting from the second semester, that like I always take like 5 course focus. Like in first semester, if I take 5 course, in my second semester I only take 4 course. And then last semester I took 5 courses. 4 courses from Parami, and then 1 course is from Ocean Hours. So for 4 courses, so like Parami courses have like more workload than Ocean course. So and then at the same time, like to adjust my lesson and then my workload. So I always take one mathematics and science course, and another 3 humanity course, and the ocean course also. I think ocean course are also really flexible, and then they are less workload than for me. So so in ocean
Yes, I
time, so
agree.
it's like less stressful. It's less stressful even in our final time, right? So in that way, I always use. And then in this semester, so coming semester, so I'm planning to take 5 courses because I have to take 5 courses to get my AA degree. So maybe So based on this, maybe if the school reopen again, I have to reduce my workload from my work. Maybe I have to stop and I have to finish like my volunteer jobs before the school open. Yeah.
Yes, that's great. That's great. And also, I wanted to know, like, how do you manage your time for your study and work? So you work, and I think after
Yeah.
that, what will you do? Like, I mean, what time do you wake up and what time do you sleep? Like, I also really worry about your sleeping hours. So did you reduce your sleeping hours, or how did you do that? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't have any special plan for that. So like my sleeping hours is based on my workloads. So like I finish as my work is like usually at 10 p.m. So after 10 p.m. So okay, let me talk about my study time and how I study first. So I don't have any like specific schedule like to study my work, and then like to study my lessons, and then to finish as my reading and then my paper. So usually I put like 1 hour or 2 hours before the course. So so I know myself, I'm a last minute person, and then I always addicted like to be like to fight the deadline. So in my last time, my brain works I think twice at the start. It's very first. So so I always put the time maybe before like 1 hour or maybe 2 hours based on the reading, because I check first what I have to read before the class, or maybe it's an assignment. So I check this, and then I guess like how much should I take to finish this this paper or this reading. So I always check this, and then maybe in an hours, right? So an hours before an hours, I open my laptop, and then I check what I have to do for the class, maybe some reading. So I finish all the reading, maybe in a specific time. So maybe if I got 1 hour, I sit down in front of my laptop, and I gave all of my attention on this, for only this words. Not like I never do I never do a lot of work at the same time, because I'm really weak as like multitasking. So I can work only one work at a time. So so maybe 1 hour. If I get some 1 hour, so I put all of my attention. I pay attention only on the lessons, and then I finish it. Maybe for some readings, we don't need to take like an hours, right? So in that time, so I find another information, maybe about the writers or the reading, or maybe biography, and then background information about the reading. So this is I always do before I start the class. Another one here. So based on the workloads from my study, so my sleeping hour also quite flexible. I can say it's quite flexible.
Yeah.
So so sometimes I wake up early in the morning. So because I'm an early person, and then at night, all of my brain use up for a day, and I cannot think. I cannot get a new idea. So if I have to write something important, and then like something important, so I think I like in my brain I said that I have to write this. Another one, so I put like stick paper on my window, and then when I look at this, I know that okay, so tomorrow I would think this idea. So early in the morning I wake up, and then I look at what I have to do, and I started to find the information because so I'm an early person, I got most of the idea, and it like when I wake up early in the morning. Yeah, so this is like how I finishes my study time. And then
Yes.
So okay, so and the second question is workload, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how I manage my work. So I can change as a profession, like, so I cannot change my organization times very often, right? So that because we have lots of students come in this time, right? They only has a free time in this time, so I try not to change my class time as much as possible. So so if I have to take a course, so I try to I always try to get I always try to start on time. So so it is the work plan, and then sometimes at the same time, so we have to finish a lot of the workload, right? So maybe the final term, so if I have a lot of the workload, so sometimes I request them, so teacher have an exam, or teacher have to write the final paper, so can I put off to take class to the next week? I like that in that way. So we have to adjust in that way. And then so maybe only final week, right? So
Yes.
in that way I think I always check and balance to my study time and then my work life. Another one here is that, so in my, how can I say, in my free time, I can say free time, because between the class, before I start my work, so I have little time, maybe while we are eating, or maybe while we are having fun with our friends. So at that time, so I'm I used to check something I have to do. So especially my volunteer jobs, right? So all of my volunteer job also they're also very flexible. So we don't need to any specific time, so we can check. So while we are relaxing, while I'm relaxing, I can do my work. So maybe if I have to reply an email, I suddenly reply, and then if I have to contact the school, I suddenly call, and then it's just maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but I can finish my job, right? So in that way I can save my time, and then I finish all of my jobs. So while I having having fun with friends, or while I am relaxing.
That's great. I also use like that. For me, when I'm relaxing, I did some graphic design poster for my page. So
yeah,
I don't think this is my work. I enjoy doing that. It's I'm relaxing by doing a poster, right? By doing graphic content. I'm also writing content when I'm relaxing. This is the way how I relax. So it's it's kind of similar, because I also don't have a lot of relaxation time, but I think they are my relaxing time, right? So I also say
right? So because we are doing the things we love, right? All of the things we do we love, right? We love, so it's never get tired or it never gets exhausted by doing that. So we didn't realize, right? So spending a lot of time on that. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I see. And also like teaching job also, like I don't feel tired of teaching, you know. Even though I have so many classes, but when I am teaching, I got some ideas when I talk with my students. So I got ideas from them, and also it's kind of the way I reduce my stress. Like I use all the energy in the class, and I forgot about my stress, and like sometimes I'm very angry, but they heal me. My student heal me. So
yes, of course. Walking is one of the healing for me,
Yes,
so as okay, I think we have to talk like this one, the last question, right? So I will talk more about it. So in the last session.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So before we go to the last one, I want to ask number 4 question, like what are your study tips? So you also mentioned about this a little bit, but I want to know more about how many hours do you pay for your study time, like in a week. So, and also like, did you meet advisor very often, or did you get help from them? So how do you use like your academic advisor like for your good academic performance? So I also want to know about that one. Yes.
Okay. Okay. For like my study, I don't have any exact time, like how many hours I have to give, maybe for a subject or for reading or for writing. I don't have any specific time, So, but at the same time, I told you, right? I check what I have to do, and then I try to finish before the class. Like yes, I always try to. Like not to meet the deadline, So this is our responsibility, and at the same time, it's like
actually, I don't think you will find deadline. I think you will do ahead before the deadline. Actually, why not?
Yeah. So, is it like I'm very excited? Like do I like? Yeah, I finish before the deadline.
But I will tell you, I also find the deadline, but I don't get like that mark. During the last hour, I only got over 80, okay? Over 80, but for me, it's fine. Over 80, I'm very satisfied, Over 80, okay, yeah. Over 80, that's really, really great, okay? This is my highest expectation is over 80. That's why I got that.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. So, so I will share my study tips, every useful tips I can say. So here, so I talk about how I prepare for the reading, right? Reading text. So another one is writing text. So as you mentioned, like we have to write a lot of the paper, and then maybe some are short and like some are very, very long, right? So like before I started or before I get any idea, I always read like the text carefully. So professor always gave that like outline, right? Outline of the assignment. So what they want, what kind of thing do we have to put? So they always talk like what they want. So I read maybe 2 or 3 times to understand what is the assignment. So and then another watch. So what the professor wants, and then so here, so we need to learn about the professor. So what are their strengths, and then so what they like, what is their writing style, and then what do they like to get more point, like more mark in our assignments. I check first. So you can check their you can check those kind of manner in the yeah. So while we are learning, right? So if we talk the discussion, so especially we talk our various kind of idea, right? From the classmate. So if they like their idea, so maybe someone idea, so their response is really, really first, and then we can know, right? We can know, and then so I know that the professor interested about it, and she know, he or she know what about it. Okay, so if I have to write final paper, I will take this idea. So I know that.
Really
so another one, So another one here is that. So why I read it? So why I do my reading? I always find what is my interest, because So if I choose some topic based on my interest, so like whatever the subject is very difficult, so I can do it because I choose based on my interest, right? So I highlighted So why I read it, so it very interesting. So and then so it is a good topic to write my final paper because for me I'm not interested every single reading. So honestly, I'm not interested in every single reading. So some of them I don't understand. So some of them like I feel like okay, I don't have enough brain to understand these more. So I'm also at those kind of feeling. So but for maybe a piece of reading I'm really interested in. So I'm very curious to know about it. So I chose that one to write final paper or like to make some responsive essay. So yes, in that way I always choose like my interested topics for my assignments. So this is the first thing. And then another one here is you asked me like, do you go to the advisor? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But in my second semester, I didn't go very often because if I believe that I can manage, I never go. But for some subject and for some topics, I'm a laggard knowledge, and I'm at I use all of my ideas I can think of. So in that time, I go to my advisor Annie. So Annie is very, very good, right? Very, very good, and then she can give a lot of ideas for us. And then so especially before I if I block to get the idea, maybe to start a thesis or to start a papers, I see her. I got I made an appointment to meet her, and then I got the idea, and then I try to meet her again to check my outline, and then she checked to me, it's okay, fine. So if my outline was finals, it's I can start, is it ready to start? So I write it to myself, and then usually as I am a deadline fighter, I have I have no time to ask Annie to check as a final draft. So so I submit it. If I finish, I submit it. It's okay. Yeah. So in that way, I think I got a maybe good mark. I can say good mark in my final paper.
Yeah.
So you need to know the taste of professor. So it is also important.
Yeah. It's I expect I expect you are very hardworking and you study a lot, but now I got the answer quite different from what I expected. But okay, it's interesting. It's really interesting to talk with you and listen to your study tips. So I think I can also use those tips in my study. So thank you so much for telling me honestly what you're doing and how you study hard. So I really enjoying it, and I hope other students can also learn something from your conversation. So yes.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
The last question.
So here, let me ask some information here.
Yeah.
So I've also talked with my classmates, so they also have those kind of strikes because they always tell me that they have to give a lot of time and that they didn't get the high marks, and how do you study. They always ask me, so I always give my advice like that. Okay, another one here is that, so how can I say, I think for me, so I always try my best, and then I never look the mark I got, because I did my best. So whatever, is it maybe low mark or high mark, it doesn't matter for me. But the most important thing is I learn a lot, right? So to write paper, so I learn a lot. I read a lot of the paper. So it is the most important thing. So rather than getting high mark, so how much you learn and how much you understand about the topic is important, because I believe that, because so the knowledge from our class we have to apply outside of the class. For me, I'm really interested in doing research. So from some topics and some knowledge about especially theory from my social science and humanity classes. So I apply those knowledge. I always connect these knowledge to apply in our real lives. So I think this is also another text. And then so here I want to mention one of our senior, Konami Ken, said that. So if you write a paper, never try to yeah, how can I say, trying to publish your work. So I always
I
think
also
about it. So
heard
I
this.
really,
I
yes, yeah.
also know
So you know,
this.
it's really useful, right? So how much we get, like how like, so if we write a paper, so how like we have to think to publish it. So right. So I always connect this. I always think about it. So it is a real problem. So what is it like that theory we learn in our class, and then the problem in our real life. So I always connect with them. And then in my paper, I think it is also one of the take when I write the assignments. I can say, yeah.
Yes, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, I also heard that one, like he said, but it's quite difficult for me, you know. Like, but for other students, like they got they give a lot of study hour and they didn't get good mark. For me, like I didn't give a lot of study hour and I didn't get good mark. It's deserved. It deserved for me. Like, okay, that's great because I didn't give and I didn't get, so it's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy with what I got. So yes, that's really great. And also the last question is, what motivate you to do hard work and hard study in your life? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So here, so as I mentioned before, walking is a kind of a healing for my mental health problem. So as you, I think you also know that, right? So I have a lot
Yeah.
of the mental problems, so thousands of problems. I'm living with thousands of problems. As you know, like in my maybe February, right? So my father passed away. So it was the most difficult time of my life. Like, you know, I don't know what to do. And then, you know, at this time, I didn't do anything. Maybe about 3 days. 3 days. So if I have free time, I started to overthink everything. So I worried about my financial problems and I worried about my future. So everything's make me like increase or like negative thinking. So other side, you know, what I started to do is like walking. I have to walk. So if I walk and if I'm doing something, so I feel like I have no time to think the negative thing at this time. So and then you know, so as teaching, we have to deal with like children, right? Children, and then some are like around 5 or 6 or 7, and then some are 13. So I think the children have a lot of the positive energy, you know, positive energy. So if we have a problem in our personal life, so while we are teaching, so they give a lot of energy, like to me, like to overcome my difficulty. So you know, so I at this time, you know, I give more time with my students. So you know, so they also give me like a kind of energy. And then you know, so and then I feel like that. And then another one, what I really like myself is that if I have free time, you know, if I have free time, I'm starting to think a lot the negative thing, not the positive thing, the negative thing. So if I get depression, or if I get like, especially the depression, I can say depression, I realize that I have free time. I need to do something. So, you know, I need to do something. I feel like that
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
still have time to think about the negative things, right? So I have to walk. So I feel like that. And then, you know, so in that way, I began a workaholic. And then another one is that even though I work a lot, so I always choose like I'm really interested in it. And then before I apply the job or before I apply like a program or project, I always think about what is the impact, and then like how can I help that. So I always think about that, you know. Like even right now, so I'm doing like project assistance, right? Project assistance, it take my head, and then you know what I think about is that, so how can I help the students, or how can I help my community? So maybe if I do something positive thing, like how can I say? If I see a good impact in my community because of me, so it motivate me to do like more positive impact, and then to work hard again, you know. So it is a kind of that like I work hard and then I see the results, right? The positive results, and this positive also motivate me to work hard and then to
Oh,
work
that's
more,
that's a
right?
good
So
answer.
in that
Yeah.
way, you know, so sometimes, so I can't deny like if someone asks me or if my student asks me to check their essay, maybe to apply scholarship, or then maybe if my friend asks me like to check maybe their homework, their assignments. I can't deny that. I can't deny that because I know that if I have them, like they can solve the problem, right? So I think it is also a good impact, right? So in that way, I think I become more positive in my daily life, right? So yeah, so this is one of the things how I heal and how I manage my stress and then the depression in my work and study life, I can say. Yeah.
Great, that's really great. I got a lot of ideas and like positive energy from you. So thank you so much. I have something to think and reflect myself as well. So thank you so much for your time and energy to share, to contribute your skills and knowledge to everyone. So I hope this conversation can affect positively to a lot of students and people.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm also really happy to share my story.
Yeah.
And if this podcast or like it's motivates maybe some student to work hard, so I think it's really worth, right? It's worthy to like making this podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your student will be really happy to listen to this podcast. So yes. So let's call it a day. Bye-bye.
Bye.